Well, hey, welcome to Worth It Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we send a principle worth learning, a question worth answering, and a recommendation worth taking. Today's principle is that if you're not personally growing, there's no way you're effectively leading. What is leadership? Leadership is taking people from here to there. And how on earth could you expect to guide other people on a journey from the current state to a desired future if you haven't first led yourself on a journey from the current state to a desired future? But I'll tell you, it's really easy if you've spent some time in the business and leadership and personal development space to think of that question like, are you personally growing, or am I personally growing? And to say, well, yeah, I'm personally growing, right? I read books and I listen to podcasts and I've taken some courses and I have conversations with people. And so yes, I'm personally growing. And what we're falling for in that idea is the idea that information is what creates growth. Listen to me real quick. Information is an ingredient, but it's not the recipe. Information alone doesn't make you into someone that's growing, because what else is absolutely demanded and required if you want to grow? Action. And I would even be a little bit more specific for the purposes of today's video and say action that requires you to be uncomfortable. Because real, transformative, lasting, healthy, sustainable growth and comfort, they never coexist. Because growth happens whenever you expand the limits of your capacity, when you take new territory, when you do new things to get new results, when you engage with new ideas, when you step into the uncharted and the unknown. Because if you're going from here to there, then you're going to actually encounter things along the way that you've never done before, and that's going to, by nature, make you uncomfortable. Now, we all know those leaders that we just deeply respect because they're like, man, they found a sweet spot in that they have almost made a practice of being comfortable, being uncomfortable, right? And they're constantly doing new things. They're constantly getting new results. And they have this just beginner's mindset about them that they're always learning and they're always engaging with new territory. And they're not doing it out of a posture of complete and total inadequacy or obligation, but rather they're doing it out of this posture of overflow, right? That their attitude and their paradigm and their model for looking at the world is that I get to grow. And so if you are a stagnant leader that isn't moving forward, that isn't on a journey, that isn't investing in the adventure that is your life, why on earth would other people follow you, right? Because you're by nature personally stagnant, and people only follow people they admire, at least sustainably over an extended period of time. Conversely, think about the contrary principle to the one we're talking about. So we said, if you're not personally growing, there's no way you're effectively leading. But man, if you want to start effectively leading, all you got to do is just start personally growing. Invest in a, to be coy, path for growth that puts you on an adventure that you can be inspired by, that you can be excited about, that looks like you becoming more of who you were created to be, that you just show up with joy because you're engaging with life in a way that's fresh and new and wild and fun. And I'll tell you, if you just do that, and live in that, and actually take new actions, first of all, you won't even have to share about it because people will start asking about it. They'll be like, what's going on with you? You just have this pep in your step. You're just on this adventure. You're on this journey. And they say, like, man, I see the way you interact with your family. I see the way that you interact with this business. And I don't know what's going on here, but I just got to get in on it. What's going on? You can say, well, I'm invested in growth, and I'm someone that's constantly growing. And man, once people ask that question, they hear that result, then they'll say, well, I want that. And then you have the opportunity to serve. And that's what true leadership actually is service. So if you're not personally growing, there's no way you're effectively leading. But if you want to start effectively leading, just start personally growing. Understand where you are today. Understand where you want to be in your marriage, as a parent, in your business, with your intellectual understanding, in your health. Define a desired future, and then start taking steps. And do it not out of a posture of inadequacy. Do it out of a posture of not scarcity, but abundance, of overflow. And don't be surprised when people are so enthralled by the adventure that you are on that they say, man, I want that for me too. If you're not personally growing, there's no way you're effectively leading. Y'all have a killer Wednesday. Let's go.